Hey guys, behind me is my BYD Sealion 7. Notice I didn't say the BYD Sealion 7, and that's because I'm not a car reviewer jiggy jockey that only has access to the vehicle for an hour or two. No, this is my vehicle. I purchased it. I've been driving it now every day almost for the last month or so since I've purchased it. And even though we're still in the honeymoon phase, yes, I'm still quite happy with the car. This is the AWD or all-wheel drive variant, but all trim levels come equipped with radar and cameras and sensors. All of that is combined and operated through the BYD Infotainment system, the command center, the brain of the car. And today, that's my video today, is to take you through the menus and submenus and submenus of the fairly intuitive, although quirky at times, infotainment system of the Sealion 7. So let's get cracking. So first off, the screen is very responsive and fast, and it's a 15.6 inches on the diagonal, and according to BYD uses a cutting edge chipset. What that means I don't really know. If anybody knows the processor under the hood here, let us know, but I can tell you it's responsive and it's fast, and I haven't had any issues with it freezing up or crashing or anything like that. It's been good. Okay, so first off, what you're seeing here is the desktop and the Lunar View wallpaper, which I have selected, and the wallpaper theme that you see here also appears on the driver's display. And what BYD calls the instrument screen. So, starting from the top left, this is your notifications icon. This is when we have messages from the BYD mothership, such as it's time to download a system update. I haven't had any messages like that yet, but we'll see. Beside that, we have a PM 2.5 meter, which tells us the PM 2.5 levels inside the car and outside the car. Right, next to that is our SIM card strength. The installed SIM card is good for 2 years. Note when you drop your phone onto the charging pad, as I've done now, then this icon pops up to show that your phone is currently being charged. All right, moving across, now we have the icon for Android Auto. That's this blue icon right here. Next to that, you have your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity icons. Then there's a clock. And beside that, in the very top right, is this swirling blue hypnotic circle icon. This is the BYD Assistant, which I'll demonstrate for you now. Hi, BYD.
I'm here.
Open the sunshade.
No problem.
As we go through the menus, you will see a series of commands that you can learn that you can give to the BYD Assistant.
Sure, the temperature has been turned down by 3.
As you can see, it's not perfect. Now let's move down to the lower left. This row of icons here are shortcuts to some of the apps. And this is how, by the way, this setup you're seeing here, except for the lunar landscape, is how the car came from the dealership. All of these can be customized. You can add and take away icons as you wish. I haven't changed anything yet. So the first two icons here have to do with phone calls, recent calls. This car icon here, if I tap on this, up pops another shortcut menu where I can tap to open all windows, close all windows, and so forth. And there's a icon of the car pops up, which you can click on, and you can even change the color. I happen to be driving the blue one, so I leave it set as blue, but you can change it to white, black, this putty gray, I think, and then the blue, which is what I have. There you go. Next to that is a button to unlock everything. There's a button to open the rear hatch. And the next set of icons here are related to music. So I've linked the car to my Spotify account. And by the way, a tip. I don't use the Spotify app that came installed with the car. I actually connect to Spotify using Android Auto, which means I'll be using my data on my SIM card, saving the data on the car's SIM for when an important update is ready to be downloaded. The next set of icons after the music icons is for navigation. So clicking on this icon brings up the BYD navigation map, and then shortcuts to your home and work destinations. If you watch the video I made for when I was driving the car on a long trip, the navigation isn't very good. It will get you where you want to go, but in a very roundabout way. I'm hoping that with a future update, this will be improved. There's 3 years of map updates included when I purchased this vehicle. But I do, however, like how the turns and the information from the nav system do show up in the heads-up display. I think that's a very cool feature, but it's just too bad that those turns are taking you off in the wrong direction. And so I tend to use Android Auto and navigate through Google Maps instead, which unfortunately does not show up on the heads-up display. That would be great if that could be integrated. Anyhow, that's the navigation system. And then the very far right is the shortcut to the Android Auto, assuming you've already synced your phone and set up Android Auto with this system. Then we have our final set of icons along the very lower edge of the screen. Starting from the left is the BYD party trick that everybody probably knows about, where you can flip the screen onto portrait mode, which is kind of handy for navigation. But the catch here is it does not work when you have with Android Auto, so you can't use it with Google Maps. So I tend to keep the screen in the landscape mode, but there you go. All right, the next icon is to do a split screen. So if you wanted to have the screen split left and right, where you can have the navigation on one side and an app running on the other, that's what this icon is all about. Let's just go back to the desktop. All right. Then we have our air conditioning controls. Oh, sorry, there's a app button here, which takes you to the apps which came installed with the vehicle. Actually, the only one that didn't come installed was YouTube. So I just went to the BYD store, and then I was able to download YouTube from the BYD store. There are a few other apps there that I've not installed. I don't really have an interest in the BYD Arcade or karaoke, so that's that. And there's not a lot of apps here on the BYD store. Perhaps that's going to change over time. Let's see now. So that's after the split screen app. After the split screens, you have the app. Then there's a command to turn on the defrost for the windscreen. And then you have your air conditioning controls. So tapping on this lets you set the temperature on the left, set the temperature on the right, and then the middle icon lets you change the direction of the airflow and all kinds of controls like max AC, AC auto, and you can also adjust the temperature and fan speed here. So if I want the air to also come out at my face, I can just click that or unclick that to keep it as it is, and so forth. All very intuitive, I find. The next icon over is related to air conditioning. It's the fan speed and turning on the air conditioning. This can also be done on the central console as well. And notice that when you change something here, it might turn off auto. So if I go here, and auto AC is on right now, change the direction of the airflow, and auto turns off. So you have to turn it back on, and then it goes here again. This is a quirk. Next one over is the vehicle icon, which brings up the vehicle menu. More on that in a second, because there's a lot there to explore. The home icon takes you to the desktop, which we're looking at now. And this is just the back or return icon. Finally, there are these last two icons, the paintbrush. This lets you choose a different wallpaper or theme. I like the lunar one. You can also upload your own images to use if you wish. And this second icon sets the map as the desktop. So when you hit the desktop button, it's the map that you see. I kind of prefer the map as a desktop, but for now I'm going to leave it set on the desktop as a desktop for the purpose of this video. So those are all the icons that just show on the screen before you access any menus. And like I said, these ones here can be customized. You can add and take away icons as you like. All right, the real heart of the system is accessed here through the vehicle menu. And as you can see, this pops up. There are 5 different menus here that you can access, and each menu will give its own collection of menus across the top from left to right. So the system menu gives us connection, and then we have submenus for connection, for Bluetooth, wireless connections, hotspot, connected devices, cell data on off. You have another menu item for audio, and then that submenu has another set of menus that you can get into to control the various audio features you see there. The display lets you choose the screensaver to be a clock or off, the brightness of the display, adaptive brightness, dark light. You can see the various modes there. This tells us the current system. There's no upgrade available yet, even though it says upgrade. When there is an upgrade available, I'm told there will be a notification here about that. It tells you what system we're currently running and other features that you can set, other menus that you can get into. There you go. And then the app, the settings for the various apps, notification settings and so forth. Right on. Then you have the ADAS system. This is the Advanced Driver, what does this mean again? Advanced Driver Alert System. I'm not quite sure what this means. Advanced Driver Assistance System, that's it. And the Advanced Driver Assistance System. And this is not the God's Eye system that's being rolled out with the latest models of BYDs in China, the high-end models only. But this is where the sensors, cameras, and radar come in. And it's all of the features such as the driving assist, the intelligent cruise control, and I did a video on what that looks like. So you can just turn off or on whether you want to use it. Then you have your safety assist menu, so it's things like lane keep assist, hill descent control, parking assist, and then there's lane departure assist controls, collision avoidance controls, front traffic. I've got a lot of this turned off, but I've got some things turned off, like the speed limit tones and intelligent speed attention. I want to be able to go as fast as I like, in other words. And the next one over is the parking assist. And this has to do with the camera system and turning on or off the parking sensors. The next menu down is the energy menu, and it lets you turn on this feature, the torque adaptation control, which lets the software determine how much power to send to the front or the rear wheels. Obviously, this would not be available unless you have the AWD variant. And I like this because it kind of turns the car into a rear wheel drive vehicle most of the time, except when you need extra traction from the front. The energy manager gives you some control over the regenerative braking and the range display to dynamic or standard. I keep it on dynamic as it's more accurate. Standard always gives you more range than you, doesn't always, but standard might give you more range than you actually have. Charging and discharging settings are accessed here. You can do scheduled charging, for example, under smart charging, under this submenu. So you can schedule a time to start and stop charging. Let's go back. And then we have energy consumption, a graph of, I believe it's the last 50 kilometers, how many kilowatts are being used, some total numbers, some average numbers, and so on. You can clear the data if you like. Right. That's the energy menu. Now we have our vehicle menu, and this is where you have some intelligent chassis control, steering, braking, comfort parking, the lightings, the ambient light that you see in the vehicle, the level of headlights, how the headlights behave, and so on and so forth. This ambient blue light, which you might not show up in the daytime, you can adjust the color of that if you like. If you don't want to go to more of a green theme, then you can do that. whatever you like. I kind of leave it set on blue because the car is blue, but whatever. And it can be dynamic, so it's reacting to whatever music you're playing. All right, then there's comfort driving. So that's features regarding the wipers and the folding of the side view mirrors. And you can have the side view mirrors tilt down when you're reversing. You can control the heads-up display, how high it is, how bright it is, the angle, and classic. Snow just means the icons, instead of being white, will turn blue, which will come in handy if you're driving on a snowy road, or even like a bright day on a white concrete type of road. The snow mode will change the icons in the heads-up display to blue, so they're easier to see. This adds other content to the heads-up display. This is about the instrument screen. It's just the screen in front of the driver, and you can determine you can show what you want to show on this screen. I'm going to put the odometer back. There we go. The air conditioning control, eco and comfort, and so on. You can see the menu items here. The seats, you can memorize the location of the seats. You can have two of the driver's seat. You can memorize 2 positions for 2 drivers, and when you enter the vehicle, it'll always go back to the last one that was used, or you can choose position 2 to move the seat to that position. Seat memory, seat ventilation controls are here, and there are a lot of shortcuts to these as well, so you don't have to dig through several menu icons to get to them. And here you have various menu items related to the locking of the car, the notifications screen, and what you want the notifications to look like or sound like or not sound like. And the cabin perception menu. This has to do with the driver monitoring system, which, again, if you watch the video I made while I was driving the car, it's basically watching your face and your eyes, and you can have warnings pop up. I like to turn this one off, which allows me to look to the left or to the right without getting an annoying notification telling me that I'm looking left or right. But I usually leave the other ones on. That's the vehicle menu. And lastly, the service menu. And so maintenance and maintenance mileage. And so these, I haven't set anything here. I haven't turned these on. You can check the wipers. Here's where you can access the owner's manual that came with the vehicle. And the vehicle actually did come with an owner's manual, which I was quite pleased with. So I do have a Sealion 7 owner's manual with all this information as well. But of course, this will go out of date when there are updates, whereas the digital version should stay current to whatever version is installed on the machine. And then just basic vehicle info, no faults. That's good to see. And there you have it. That is the nuts and bolts of the infotainment system. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want to know more, and if you like what I'm doing, let me know. Thanks. Take care. Bye for now.